critical care nurses are exposed to stressful situations in their daily work. Extremely stressful situations can create PTSD. Continued exposure to even moderate levels of stress can cause anxiety and burnout. It is important to understand how our brains process stressful events and environments, and how developing resiliency skills can help protect against PTSD. So here we have a human brain. It's not really that big, of course, but we will use it to demonstrate how we process information. There are many parts of the brain, but for this illustration, we will focus on a simplified view, focusing on the main parts of the brain involved in processing information. These are the prefrontal cortex within the frontal lobe, the thalamus within the temporal lobe, the hippocampus within the temporal lobe, and the amygdala within the temporal lobe. Our normal everyday thought process involves most regions of the brain. In our normal thought process, the thalamus within the temporal lobe acts as a relay station, sending sensory information from the body to the various sensory processing lobes. However, ultimately, it is the prefrontal cortex within the frontal lobe that is responsible for the executive function. This normal thought process decision-making and problem-solving uses all the processed sensory information, as well as memory information stored in the hippocampus within the temporal lobe. The hippocampus files away memories, and the prefrontal cortex appraises situations, processing both the new sensory information and memory information accordingly. This normal process, however, is too slow to react to sudden threats or traumatic events. For example, if you happen to see a car heading straight for you, your brain has evolved to process this type of threat information much faster, effectively bypassing the thinking and decision-making process, and thus driving an automatic and faster survival response. When a person experiences a high-level traumatic stressor or threat, the amygdala, located in the temporal lobe, sends a signal to initiate the fight or flight response, which is a survival mechanism that prepares the body to respond to danger.